The amped wireless TAP-R2 certainly doesn't look like a regular router, the glaringly obvious touchscreen being the main difference. But is this a really useful feature combined with stellar performance, or is it a gimmick designed to sell a mediocre router at above average prices? Hi, I'm James Bruce at MakeUseOf.com, and today we are taking a look at the amped wireless TAP-R2, a $150 router that promises extreme Wi-Fi range, AC 750 speeds, and has a neat little touchscreen for configuring the device without the need of a web interface. First off, the touchscreen. Well, it's actually pretty neat, enabling you to configure Wi-Fi passwords and network names without needing another device to open up a web interface. It is, however, a resistive touchscreen rather than a capacitive one as you'd find on a smartphone, for example. So the resistive one tends to work best with the supplied stylus that tucks into the top of the device, or if you have long nails, that could work well too. Most of the built-in features can be configured directly from here, such as user access schedules, MAC address access controls, and site blocking. Pro users, however, will find it limiting, and it can certainly be unresponsive when saving settings, but for novice users it will definitely be appreciated. So, how about that extreme speed and range that they proudly claim? I'm afraid the results were less clear-cut here. On AC devices like the iPhone 6 on the 5 GHz channel, the range and speeds were not nearly as good as my Apple Extreme router, so I presume that simply means it doesn't have the same beamforming technology, though at short range it performed similarly. For 2.4 GHz end devices though, the speed was comparable, but it did in fact outperform the Apple router in terms of range. I was able to get much further away before the signal dropped out. I wouldn't say 3 times the range as advertised, but definitely a few more rooms in that direction. Unfortunately, the TAP-R2 is limited to 2 Ethernet ports, neither of which runs at gigabit speeds, and if you want to put this into your network as a long-range 2.4 GHz access point, then think again. It refuses to run in access point mode and must be on its own subnet, so no good for existing infrastructures. Again, pro users are going to find this very limited. So should you buy the TAP-R2? Well, the TAP-R2 is the perfect router for your granny, and I don't mean that in a bad way, far from it. The touch interface is easy and allows novice users to use some of the advanced features simply, as well as get access to network passwords when the grandkids come round. It'll also give them a good range with older devices, and it's unlikely they need more than the 200 megabit Ethernet port supplied. Pro users, however, will definitely want to look elsewhere. Its inability to fit into existing network structures, the poor AC performance, and limited Ethernet ports just add up to an overall substandard router, so unless you desperately want something with a touchscreen, I'd advise you look elsewhere, around the $150 to $200 mark, where there are better alternatives like the D-Link AC 1900 or 868L with SmartBeam technology. Anyway, head on over to MakeUseOf.com where you can enter to win this, and thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for all of our weekly giveaways and reviews.